Hi there, my name's Dakota. This is obviously Northern Knives because you're tuning in on our channel, and we're here to talk about Charles W. Fuller. He was at SHOT Show where Lori got to discover him.
Blade Show.
Sorry, Blade Show. They're interchangeable in my head. He's in South Africa, makes some pretty cool knives out of all sorts of cool steels.
They've got N690, right?
You jumped the gun.
I was going to say it anyways.
I was like, he's about to say it. I got to cut him off. That's my fact.
That's my fact.
So Lori, tell us about these knives.
So I stopped by the African Custom Knives booth, which used to be our Arnold Bernard dealer, and Arnold Bernard has since self-distributes, and so I know that Nathan and Nolan is who we used to deal with, and I want to stop by. So they deal in a ton of different makers, and upon their table were all these fun, small, adorable little knives.
Upon their table.
Upon their table. I have to say that I did. There was a guy, a cowboy hat wearing old man from Florida there, who was hoeing and humming over a single knife that he was going to buy. And, I mean, we've all had...
And Lori's like, I'll take them all.
We've had
He's
those,
like, dang,
pretty close. We've all had those customers who just, like, they're not quite sure.
Yeah,
and so I looked at him, I was like, well, asked him about the knife. And he's like, oh, let me, like, looked at it. And I was like, well, if you don't buy it, I'm going to buy it. He's like, what? And I was like, I mean, I'm going to buy probably that one, that one, and that one, and that one. And he's like, what? So
I need to complete the set.
I upsold him to 2 knives, and then he left, and then I ended up buying a bunch. So I bought a bunch of little knives from the African Custom Knife table. And during the live stream last week, or whatever that day was, one of the guys from the booth chimed in on the live stream, Nathan.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Very cool. Oh, that was him.
Yeah,
Yes.
we had a quite a busy live stream. So
It was
I
very
apologize
interesting.
if I don't recall, but what immediately I noticed is these sheaths are robust.
They are.
These are really nice. They're really well done.
Apparently they don't manufacture cows like they do in South Africa here.
Manufactured cows.
Yeah, isn't that what it's called now?
I don't know, but they've got a couple different blade shapes, which I really liked, and a bunch of different handle materials. So
Yeah,
I bought
This one's got a cool little bolster on it. What is that? Do you know?
giraffe bone.
Giraffe bone.
Yeah.
Fair.
And that's
Wow.
Giraffe bone.
Yep.
Giraffe bone.
Giraffe.
Warthog ivory.
Yep.
Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
Yep, I have a warthog ivory tusk from Arno Bernard from like years ago.
On a keychain.
Yes.
I cannot find mine.
You want mine?
Yes.
Okay, I'll bring it in.
I am very irritated that I
Okay.
can't find mine. But they use N690. They use hollow grinds, which is probably makes it a nice little.
slicer.
Well, it would be considered a caper over here, I would assume. But I mean, ironwood. The materials are
Would it be
fantastic.
Would it be a Kappa over
Kappa?
there? Or Kappa?
I don't know, but this is a newer maker that they've been carrying, and they're really trying to push his stuff. And I probably bought 10 of these knives.
These are
Variety
just
handles.
the cream of the crop.
Well, I bought a lot of higher-end customs that, I mean, will do well, but I also bought a lot of little knives because, I don't know, one, it was easier to take back in my full-size gun case that I had to take the foam out of. So Emily
Are
carried...
they all just rattling around?
No, like they were
What's
they
in
were
here?
all packed. Like I had no spare room
Yeah.
in this gun case. Like I took the whole foam bottom out
Yeah.
to fit them all. But I mean, they're just like fun little knives, and I figured it'd be easier to have these on the shelf than some giant, massive
Yeah.
things.
There's one thing I noticed. Hard edges.
Yeah.
Which is one thing we used to have hard edges on the Mac. We had to get away from it. And so now we have an option to where you can add that back. But
These aren't quite as hard as like
Well-
a true hard edge. Well, maybe that one's different. This
try
one's
that one
pretty
because
softened.
that's taking some fingernail right
Yeah,
there.
it is.
That one's
Yeah,
that one's
that's-
pretty significant.
That's got a bit of a
I mean,
burr
not that,
to
I
it.
mean, it's a personal preference thing. I'm not shitting on the knife maker. I mean, some people prefer that, but his designs are nice. I love his handle material choice.
Yep.
And this is dyed spalted maple, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Maple burl.
Maple burl.
Maple burl, warthog, ironwood, camel bone, and box elder.
Oh, is that box elder?
Yeah.
Nice. But I mean, they were all like priced well. They're clean knives. They're attractive to the eye, and they had a bunch of different styles. So I literally bought like a ton of them. And then as I went back to go gather my stuff, because I bought so much, they were like, "Can you give us a little time? Like, we'll get your invoice together." I said, "Okay." And I go back, I'm chatting with them. The old man who I upsold 2 knives to is like right behind me, pretending to dig through my purse to see where all the knives are. It was the weirdest thing ever. I don't know.
Like, bitch?
Yeah. And I was like, excuse me, you don't go through a lady's purse. Plus all the knives.
Did you
were-
say, what in tarnations do you think you're doing, cowboy?
So what? Okay, so give us an idea of what pricing would be on these.
I think they're like probably a little over $200
A little over $200
for N690 for
with
quality
liners,
material.
with nice handle materials.
Yeah,
I mean,
cool
there's not one of
exotic
these
stuff.
out here
Yeah.
that has subpar handle materials.
Obviously, the warthog ivory and the camel bone is going to be a little bit more, but I mean,
Yeah.
they're all.
But I mean,
good
the
quality.
most common one out here is ironwood. But I mean, that is a great piece of ironwood. He's got good coloration.
Yep.
He's got good patterning on it. It's very nice. Very well done.
Don't know what they rock well at. I didn't get that far.
Well, that's
but-
all right. We can test that.
Yes. But anyways, I thought these were really fun.
And N690
I
is
like
a
it.
fantastic
Good choice.
seal.
Yeah, apparently a lot of South African makers are using N690. That's like most of what they
Well,
use.
that was, I mean, when we started 3DK, we picked N690 because of Arno Bernard.
Yeah, I told Nathan and all that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great stuff.
It is
And
fantastic.
they get it
stuff.
directly from Europe, so they don't have to go through.
They don't have to pay the
Washington.
20%
Yeah.
tariff tax that we have to pay.
Yeah.
It's weird. It seems like they have like a cottage industry of like knife makers in South Africa.
Yeah.
They have their own knife guild.
Yeah.
I was like,
South Africa is
okay.
like a global hub for knife making.
Weird.
And that's why I like to see like the interesting stuff from South Africa. It's,
And when I think
that's
of
really cool
South
stuff.
Africa, I think of like crash ships and like secret black ops nuclear programs.
I think of District 9.
There were a couple makers there as well, and they were hilarious. I bought knives. Emily chatted up the South African makers. It was really great. It worked out well, but more fun small knives.
Quite a gem from South Africa. You got
Yeah.
here.
So I'm very excited to buy more stuff from them.
And the grinds, I mean, if you just look down the barrel, or you just look down the underside, the grinds are super clean,
Reminds me of a straight razor.
very dead on. Very dead on. And quite impressive. The attention to detail on these little knives is very good. I mean, I don't know if I mentioned it on
The
camera,
sheath,
but I
yeah.
mentioned it before, but man, I love these
They
sheaths.
manufacture cows.
Yeah, they manufacture
do.
cows, but man, I love these sheaths. These are,
Yeah.
I mean,
They're nice.
yeah, these are very well made. A lot
Feed
of
their
knife
cows
for the
a lot
money.
of vitamin E.